What's up guys, updated post. So today we're going to be installing this beautiful carbon fiber piece. This is going to be the Cobb Redline SF intake. This is the carbon fiber version of their SF intake. This is going to be for the 2015 Plus STI. The WRX models have a different design, so this is specifically for the 15 Plus STI. So this is going to be a step-by-step video on installing this, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you when you do it yourself. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and get these rubber grommets and put them on the actual intake and bracket as well. So these two small ones go over here on the two holes for the Redline intake, and then the bigger ones are going to go on this bracket and this bracket. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those on and show you afterwards. So this is what the rubber grommets look like on the intake once it's on. The smaller bracket right here and the larger bracket right here. Now it's going to take some wiggle room to put it on, but once you get it on, it's a pretty snug fit. Next, we're going to go ahead and focus on attaching these foam pieces to the intake and these brackets. So I'll go ahead and show you what they look like after they are put on. Alright, once you install all the foam pieces, you're going to see this is what you're left with. So I'm going to show you in multiple angles. So with this backside facing you, this is where the foam piece goes for this piece. And then for this shaped bracket, it's going to be right here, as you can see. And then for the actual intake, you're going to have it on the rim of the intake insert. And then as well as the back side right here. Let me get this focused. This is a two-piece foam plate, so make sure you realize that you have to put both ends. They connect right there at that bolt and this middle way right here. Alright, next you're going to go ahead and grab the intake and put that together. Now what you're going to do is grab this plate right here, put it in through here, wiggle it around till you get it down to the base right here, line up the holes, tighten it down with the Allen wrench provided, and then put the intake on the other side. So once this is all assembled, I'll go ahead and show you what it's supposed to look like. Alright, here's the intake mounted and bolted down on the outside, the inner plate mounted on the inside, and then of course the MAF sensor bolted on the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and stick this inside of the carbon fiber intake and bolt it down with these longer bolts and show you what it looks like once it's all together. Alright, got the intake mounted on the carbon fiber piece. Now the other side is going to be what's remaining. Now this is going to be optional from person to person. Now myself, I'm going to keep this plate off. This is going to be used to reduce the sounds from the intake itself. Now this is what the plate looks like. You can use the three remaining bolts right there to go ahead and mount it on. Me personally, I want to hear the sounds of the intake, so I'm going to leave it off and work on proceeding on installing it in the vehicle. Next, you want to grab this Cobb silicone elbow and go ahead and attach it to the intake. Now you want to have the Cobb logo towards the carbon fiber intake side and then the other end facing outwards. And you want to hold it down with these clamps that are provided by Cobb itself. Alright, now proceeding to the engine bay, we're going to be focusing on multiple areas. Now the first area is with this larger bracket where you're going to go ahead and bolt it down with this bolt right here in the front and one in the rear right there. Then you're going to move to the front of the car where the radiator support is, and you're going to loosen this so you can get some wiggle room. And you're going to stick your fingers under here and try to stick the bolt through so you can tighten this down from up top. So you got one on this side and one on this side. And then this piece, for visual purposes, I mounted it right here. But what you're going to do is you're going to grab this, install it on the intake itself, and then when you put it in, you can line it up over here and tighten it down to the best fitment that you can. Alright, here's the final product of the carbon fiber intake finally installed on the vehicle. Now some suggestions when putting this on is to focus on keeping the clamps loose on the silicone elbow so you have some room for adjustability. Then when you go ahead and put this intake in, the large bracket should be the main focus first. That's the piece that you're going to go ahead and try to click the under of this intake into on the grommet piece on that bracket. Then you want to go ahead and focus on the alignment in the front right here of the intake with the two grommets right here. You want to click those in and have it aligned. And then you want to have this held up. And last, go ahead and attach this bracket on top of the intake. And then once it's attached here, you can just adjust it to the thread sticking out right here. And then hand tighten these nuts on. And then finally tighten it down with a wrench. And then enjoy your new carbon fiber intake when it's finally installed. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this step-by-step install process for the Cobb Redline SF intake. If you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to drop a comment or reach out to me via Instagram on extreme_STI. But until next time, Extreme out.